Washington Grown is made possible by funding from the Washington State Department of Agriculture and the USDA Specialty Crop Block Grant Program. And by the Potato Farmers of Washington. Learn why Washington is home to the world's most productive potato fields and farmers by visiting potatoes.com.
Hi everyone, I'm Christy Gortson and welcome to Washington Grown. Here in our state we have everything from large wheat and potato farms to small you-pick herb gardens like this one. And everyone has the same goal of trying to help feed our neighbors. In this episode, we're going to take a look at some of the unique crops that we found farmers growing here in our state. I'm visiting Get Together Farm, where you can find all sorts of different types of produce. So you're a big kid just playing out here too.
Oh,
it seems
absolutely.
like. And I'm making an Asian pear salad at Homer in Seattle. Just a little bit?
Yeah, I think let's shoot for 140 leaves.
Okay, it'll take a while.
Just keep it.
One,
All right.
two. Then we're learning how one senior living facility is using Washington-grown food to keep their menu fresh.
These are special folks. They definitely deserve the best, yes.
All this and more today on Washington Grown. It's a flavorcation for your mouth.
Flavorcation.
I'm just gonna hold on.
You got a long ways to go. Let's
Okay,
go. No,
sorry. I know, get with it.
You were not kidding about a party of flavors. Wait a minute, where are all my pears?
Eat two, pick one.
Exactly.
I'm gonna stick around a while.
We're changing hearts tonight.
Yes, we are.
Wow, I got work to do.
Yeah, you do.
All right, let's go.
In the Beacon Hill neighborhood of Seattle, there's a cozy little spot where you can get some amazing food. Homer is the perfect name for this little spot, with the open concept and open fire creating a homey atmosphere for a night out. And with food like this, there's no way anyone is going home hungry.
Familiar foods in combinations that I never have dreamed of. Local ingredients, seasonal ingredients.
It always hits, it's unique, it's different, a little Northwest, but also a little global as well, so it's wonderful.
So it's definitely inspired by the Middle Eastern and Mediterranean flavors, but I always say it's through the lens of the Pacific Northwest.
Husband and wife duo Sarah and Logan work together to make Homer something to remember fondly. While Sarah works to make the space lively and relaxed, Logan focuses on making sure the best Washington ingredients are used for his dishes.
Knowing the person that grows the vegetable or raises the lamb or catches the fish, it really gives you an even higher appreciation of the ingredient that you're going to be cooking. You really take ownership of the thing that your friend grew for you.
Although it's with basic ingredients, it's always complex with interesting spices.
There's a lot of thought that goes into how the components of the dish are put together. Just a real jolt for the palate, things that you swear I've never tasted before, and they're familiar foods. It's wonderful.
There's always lots of little dishes. People can share and spread things. They're literally breaking their bread to dip in it with each other. And I think that kind of creates to the atmosphere and makes a really fun dining experience.
Don't go away, because later on in the show, Chef Logan and I are making a special Asian pear salad.
Land, sea, mountains, Pacific Northwest all on one plate.
Yes!
There you go.
Perfect! Down in southwestern Washington near Vancouver, there's a little farm growing all sorts of different and kind of strange things, from cucamelons to ground cherries, strange varieties of apples, and more. Get Together Farm is full of surprises. Farmer John Spencer was in finance, but found that something inside him yearned for more.
I realized that half the reason I wasn't getting my projects done is I was out here playing on tractors and doing replanting projects and the like, and I said, all right, let's see if I can't make a career out of the land.
So you're a big kid just playing out here too.
Oh, absolutely. I spent too many years in front of a computer and found that I needed to get out and
play in the
expend
dirt.
some energy. Yeah. So last year this was our vegetable patch. This year it's our squash patch. These are pickling cucumbers, English cucumbers. We have some funky varieties of cucumbers as well, and I'm totally blanking on the name. Some cucumber that I don't even recognize. I didn't even know we were growing that one.
Surprise! You have a lot. like a lot of different things.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know gray zucchini versus green zucchini. I'd say it's a zucchinier flavor of zucchini.
Yeah, that's really good.
And a good snack in the middle of the day.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, I see the babies.
But
You're loud.
the mom in the corner is some sort of African variety, and I frankly don't remember what, but
So cute.
something that you can't find around here.
Oh, it's okay. Hi, little dude. It's okay. Hi. Hi. Okay, we'll give you back.
So there's a chicken.
My day is complete.
You've had a chicken moment.
Yes, I've had a chicken moment.
The whole idea is, well, two ideas. One is introduce people to varieties that they don't get elsewhere.
Yeah.
The other one is to get people excited about what you can actually do and get if you shop somewhere else than
Yeah, exactly.
the
That's
big
not
grocery store. I suppose there's a third reason, and that is that I really had no idea what I was doing when I started, and so I just went wild with everything
Let's
that looked
try
fun.
this.
Exactly. This is my hardy kiwi trellis. We've got 36 kiwi
Can we go
plants
look at
going.
this?
So they're hardy kiwi, not fuzzy kiwi. They're about
Okay.
a third the size and 5 times as sweet.
It's just a little guy.
Just a little baby.
Yeah, how big will that guy get?
It'll get to be about twice that size.
Okay.
And of course, I've never grown them before, so I'm figuring it out as I go.
I can sense that that's what you like.
Yeah,
Kind of learning as you go. and-
The learning curve over the last 4 years has been pretty much vertical.
So these are currants?
Yeah, so white, red, black, and golden currants. It's yet another one that you just don't see a lot of in the grocery stores around here. They're a very, very tart fruit.
Yeah.
Very. You're allowed to make a face, is what I'm saying.
And so these
You
are
just sort of
these are
string
super tart?
these. Yeah, these guys will be really tart, and just sort of string them through your teeth or pick them off one at a time.
Little tart.
People don't know. People who shop at Safeway or Albertsons or Fred Meyer, you get the same thing day after day after day. You don't realize the seasonality
But there's
of
a prairie
fruits and
fire tomato.
Yeah, exactly. and when you actually start shopping from a local farm, or in my case, getting into it and growing it, there's just so much to explore and learn.
At Smart Orchard Day, we expected to see how technology is reshaping the future of agriculture. But what truly caught our attention wasn't just the gadgets and data-driven systems, it was the people behind the progress. Among them, we met Salvador Ayala, an intern at an agriculture tech company. His story is one of drive, hard work, and determination to build a brighter future.
I'm an immigrant. 6 years ago, I was in Mexico, and I told my dad that I want to move to America for a couple of reasons. One, it was for had a better education, and then for a better future, you know. I always passionate about being in school. I always passionate about learning new stuff, especially in technology. But unfortunately, we don't have the money to stay in Mexico and to keep my education. So I told my dad we had to move to America.
In 2018, Salvador and his father made the move to the United States. With little more than determination, he started as a migrant farm worker, working long days in the fields and saving every dollar he could. Today, Salvador is attending Heritage University, studying computer science. But his journey hasn't taken him far from the fields where it all began. Using his knowledge of technology, Salvador is helping growers embrace data-driven solutions, merging his roots in agriculture with his passion for innovation.
For example, I'm doing an internship this year when Steve in Innovate Ag. I'm running a lot of Python scripts, collecting data, analyzing the data, and putting it in databases. And we can share this data to the growers so they can see what can they do in their fields. So as you can see, I have different experience in different institutions, but man, that was my plan. My plan was to learn from different sectors and go back to what is my background, which is agriculture, and try to combine all my knowledge and try to see how can we collaborate with anyone who needs help. That was my main goal.
From the fields to the classroom and back again, Salvador's story is one of resilience, hope, and the power of possibility.
When all this technology around, we need to be prepared somehow. So everybody needs to get prepared and do their best every single day, and be happy about the result that you're getting. It doesn't matter if it's negative or positive. Every result is an experience, and that experience needs to be with you all the time.
Did you know there is a gourd that you can actually use in the shower? We'll let you know what that is right after this break.
Coming up, I'm making an Asian pear salad at Homer in Seattle.
Land, sea, mountains, Pacific Northwest, all on one plate, you know?
Yes.
There you go.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And we're in the kitchen at Second Harvest, trying Chef Laurent's bourbon ice cream with cranberry coulis recipe.
We asked you what gourd can be used in the shower. It's the loofah squash, grown right here in the Pacific Northwest. Dry it out and you can use it every day.
We're back at Homer in Seattle. You'll rarely find this place empty, and there's a good reason for that. Incredible food combined with the perfect vibe keep people from all over Seattle coming back to this special spot.
I love that it's sharing, it's small plates, tons of different flavors, a lot of different experiences.
Simple ingredients that are done amazingly.
It's beautiful food. It's served nicely and it's delicious.
I think the idea of Homer is really the kind of restaurant that we would want in our own neighborhood that we were growing up in.
Husband and wife team Sarah and Logan have made sure to build this restaurant where people feel welcomed. Everything is cozy and personable. After all, the restaurant is named after the family dog.
Is Homer kind of a local celebrity?
Oh yeah, more than
absolutely.
us for sure.
Yes.
He's like very well recognized.
Yeah, they don't know who we are, but they're like, oh, it's Homer!
Yeah, it's great. I mean, people see our dog in the neighborhood. We live 2 blocks away. Like I think it kind of adds to the sort of familial aspect.
I want my neighbors to come in once a week and say hi, and I want their dogs, their dogs come in and get a soft serve sample and sort of like become like a real neighborhood community hub.
It's beautifully decorated. The vibe is fun.
I come here for my birthday celebrations. I come here for family time, for date night with my husband, or just on like a random night when I want to be surprised with a delicious dish.
Very Northwest, right? On a dreary day, this seems very comforting.
So you and I get to do some cooking today, I hear. What are we gonna make?
We're gonna focus on autumnal flavors, and we're gonna do a Asian pear salad that we char on the actual coals and shave really thinly. On the base of that will be a very delicious terra masalata, which is sort of a traditional spread or dip that has lots of fish roe in it. So you're focusing on like what's coming from the sea, what's coming from the mountains, and what's coming from Tony Farms.
That sounds exciting.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. The focus of today is the Asian pear. We usually buy from Tony Farms.
Nice.
They're great. They have great orchards out in Royal City.
They kind of look like an apple.
They look
almost.
very similar to an apple for
Yeah.
sure. But it's great for pickling, great for roasting.
What should we do first?
How about
Lead the way.
you start picking some herbs for garnish here? We have cilantro and mint leaves.
Okay, just a little bit.
Yeah, I think
and
like
so just-
let's shoot for 140 leaves.
Okay, I'll take a while.
Just kidding.
One.
Just kidding. All right.
2. While I take care of the herbs, Logan chops some smoked trumpet mushrooms.
We do a lot of this at the restaurant where we sort of incorporate or mesh together different ingredients that wouldn't really think of meshing together. Like you're like pears and mushrooms. That sounds pretty weird and maybe not enjoyable. I swear,
Yes,
it is.
I bet
It works very,
it
very
is
well.
enjoyable.
We finally chop some cilantro stems. Then it's time to prep the pear. Logan roasts it in the coals of the fire, then slices it really thin. Now it's time to combine the ingredients.
For a salad, I like to think texturally. You want a lot of different things in there, right? So you'll have these tiny little pops of like sweetness and cilantro from those stems, the juicy lusciousness from the mushrooms. Pears are crispy. You're thinking of all the different components, like, well, does this salad have that? Does this salad have that? It's like a good way to think about building a dish.
It's exciting.
It's exciting.
For your mouth.
Exactly. We get tons and tons of little green coriander seeds in the summertime. And then we'll sort of pickle them or let them ferment in salt. Because it's been fermented, it has that little bit of brininess.
Yeah.
And you'll get like a little crunchy pop in there. A little lemon juice, some olive oil. So you're just sort of like massaging the pears and like letting the vinaigrette and all the things sort of stick to that.
Yeah.
This is a seaweed and mint powder that we actually make in-house. And just to give it a little
something.
land, sea, mountains, Pacific Northwest all on one plate. you know?
Yes.
There you go.
Perfect. The key here is to try to find a little bit of
every
everything.
little bit of everything.
And to not dribble all over myself,
Well,
right?
yeah, I'm wearing an apron, so.
Man, that's good.
Lots of flavors, smokiness, sweetness, sort of all comes together.
It does.
It looks simple, but it has so many different things going on. I always like to play with smoking vegetables, and this is a lot like vegan barbecue.
Yeah. But the pear is so nice.
You get that sort of like light, crispy texture that you wouldn't normally associate with like, autumnal dishes.
Oh, flavor is so good.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying
Thank you very much. I appreciate
You are
that.
welcome.
For more restaurants, recipes, farms, and fun, visit us at wagrown.com. Coming up, Tomas is trying out some fresh Washington-grown produce at Smallwood's fruit stand.
Everybody wants a hard, crunchy apple, but they want a soft, mushy pear. Why? I mean, can't figure it out.
Today, we've stopped by a place close to home to see how our Washington-grown food is used for people we hold dear. Rob Jacobson is the sales and marketing director here at South Hill Village. He knows the importance of taking care of our seniors.
South Hill Village, what does it encompass?
It encompasses, everything senior. So everything from independent living to memory care.
One of the highlights here is the dining experience. Using Washington-grown ingredients, they're serving up fresh plates for their hungry residents.
So this is the
This is our dining room.
Yeah, nice.
So it truly is a restaurant-style experience here for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We really try to focus on farm to table and sourcing local as much as we possibly can.
Cool. And tell me about the chef.
So Aaron Swedberg, he's been working as an executive chef in our industry for many years. He does a fabulous job, and the residents really seem to enjoy the food that he prepared.
Chef Swedberg works hard to create delicious and healthy meals for the residents, but that's not all. He wants to give them a connection to their food. Aaron works with the residents to develop the menu and offers cooking workshops, teaching those interested how to prepare the meals themselves.
I definitely have a passion for serving seniors. I think anybody who works at a facility like this must have a passion for serving seniors. They deserve the very best. They pay a lot of money to live here, and we definitely try to provide that.
I noticed on the menu, you highlighted, okay, this is Washington asparagus.
Yeah, we definitely want to celebrate with the residents the fresh local ingredients. When I first started here, actually, there was a lot of frozen stuff going on, and I changed a lot of that, and that's some of the biggest feedback that I've heard from them is how they love the fresh vegetables, fresh food.
And so as far as sourcing, how do you do that?
So partnerships is definitely a huge part of that. Planning in advance is a huge part of that as well, because if we want to offer things at their peak freshness, then we have to have that plan well ahead of time. I think for nutrition, it's definitely important to have good food and fresh food. When something is harvested, it starts to lose nutrients right away, actually. So the sooner it can get from the farm to the table, it's going to provide more nutrients. Yeah. And then the flavor is going to be outstanding as well.
And like you said, these are special folks.
These are special folks. They definitely deserve the best, yes.
Back in the dining room, we spoke with the residents about what they think of the meals.
I had blackened shrimp with avocado and asparagus salad, and it was delicious. But the food is always excellent here. And I notice on their menu, a lot of it is Washington grown, so that's a plus.
It's always good. I've never had a bad meal here, and I'm kind of tearful when I say it because that's pretty impressive. I mean, I used to cook and I'd have bad meals,
I just had a shrimp and asparagus and avocado salad that was fabulous.
I'm a vegetarian. I've been a vegetarian all my life, and they serve me vegetarian food, and I'm so thankful. I couldn't be happier. They have done a wonderful job for me.
It's not exactly a secret that Washington wins the trophy for growing the best fruit. And look no further than Smallwoods in Peshastin to prove that claim. With fresh, scrumptious fruit and some fun side activities to let your inner kid have a day too, this place is an actual playground for all. Mike Smallwood gave me a bit of a tour and shared some of his Washington-grown fruit.
Well, the first thing that comes on that people really gravitate to, of course, is cherry. Those are sweethearts. They're a late season cherry. We're finishing up on cherries now. So everything has a season. It's fast, quick, and you blink an eye, you miss it.
Right. These are delicious, by the way.
Yeah.
Where does a lot of this produce come from? How does it get to this spot right here at Smallwood?
Well, I grow some,
okay,
but only 20%.
Mike's main crop, delicious pears.
These probably aren't ripe. You know, pears always take a little bit of time to ripen. This here is Angel, and
They're my favorite, actually. I love these. I eat them all the time.
Yeah.
I like them a little firm, though. I don't like it when they get too mushy.
Everybody wants a hard, crunchy apple, but they want a soft, mushy pear. Why?
You know what I mean?
I can't figure it out.
Tell me about the relationship that you have with a lot of these farmers and places like that.
Close personal friends. We got to dinner. I know the names of their dog.
Time for some juicy peaches.
This is called a rich lady. Comes off the pit well. It's a freestyle.
Mike, that's nice.
Got great flavor.
Very sweet. And it's not mushy.
No, it's firm.
Right.
And nectarines here.
When somebody asks you, hey, Mike, what's the difference between a nectarine and a peach? What's the easiest answer?
Nectarine's a nectarine and peach is a peach.
There you go. See, it's that simple.
Yeah. Here we have one of the first apples that come on, and it's a ginger gold. And it's a tart apple too. It seems like all the early apples are a little bit tart. And it's hard as a rock.
Yeah, you're putting some effort in it. You're straining it to get that piece up.
I mean, and it's also a good baking apple.
But it's firm.
If you want to sit down in the evening, have some cheese, glass of wine.
Yeah, you're right. This would go well with some cheeses because the cheese is where all that punch is going to come from, not here. Well, no matter what kind of fruit you decide to try, it turns out you just can't go wrong. So the next time you're in Leavenworth, swing on into Smallwoods and tell them Tomas from Washougal sent you.
We're here at Second Harvest Food Bank in the kitchen. It's a beautiful teaching kitchen behind us where they teach people just how to use
I
the
did
food.
that. I did that for many years. Simple food, simple cooking, home cooking. So
Chef Laurent Zarati is here, and he's created some of the recipes for us. Tomas and Val joining us. Second Harvest is a food bank here, and it serves a lot of people in a lot of areas.
a large area.
And, you know, we talked a lot about unique crops. Well, a lot of those crops come here from, specifically, a lot of them come from the Columbia Basin. All the farmers down there are super generous. You know, the community who needs it.
From your garden, you cannot donate that amount of food, but you can donate your time.
Tons of volunteer opportunities and obviously ways to donate. You can donate product. You can also donate money. The money goes a long ways.
You're retired, you don't know what to do with your day. There's no more football season or anything like this to watch. You come here and you do
volunteer.
packaging, and you
Absolutely,
volunteer,
and
you
help
create a
people out.
community. I think it's exciting. It's a great time to share and to give back to the community. Also,
love it.
There's always time.
Yeah,
always time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What are we going to make today? What recipe are we?
Well, we're going to do an ice cream that does not need to have an ice cream maker. So it's a very easy ice cream to do at home. And we're going to make something a little different with cranberry. Not used with my culture, not used to work too much with cranberries.
Yeah.
We work here in the United States with fresh cranberry maybe 1 month out of the year in November. But you can use that recipe for something else. And maybe for Thanksgiving dinner. So a cranberry coulis with a bourbon ice cream.
Oh, that sounds delicious.
Goodness. Okay.
I'm ready. Let's see how we make it. This is so pretty.
It is, and the colors. The pistachio green, that beautiful
It looks
reddish.
like a great holiday dessert, you know, with the colors.
This was a process.
It is a process. It's
is a
not
little
a
different.
one-pan recipe.
No,
You gotta follow
no.
a recipe, but if you wanna be a better cook at home, you gotta sometimes to tackle some harder recipe in order
Right.
to progress.
The coulis is delicious. It's
So-
nice and tart.
Yeah.
There's just so much happening in my mouth.
The tartness of the cranberries, and then you got that nice crunch of the pistachios.
Pistachios and the smoothness of the creaminess. It's lovely.
I could see you using this coulis for just other things.
You can use it for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Do it something different for Thanksgiving. Something, you know,
Maybe over a
unusual.
little goat cheese, Chef?
Oh, that would sound great.
She has good ideas.
I know.
I like to eat.
I like
That's
to
why
eat.
they don't usually have me in these segments. I turn into another person.
I love it. Well, definitely something to give a try and take it up a notch, right?
Tackle something out of your comfort zone. And then it's gonna become your comfort zone. So it's perfect.
Well, thanks for sharing this.
You're very welcome.
To get the recipe for Chef Laurent Zarati's bourbon ice cream with cranberry coulis, visit us at wagrown.com.
Kiwis, peanuts, eggplants, mushrooms, you can find almost anything grown here in Washington. That'll do it for this episode of Washington Grown. We'll see you next time.